There we go.
Yep, showing it on the YouTubes. Everything look good on Restream?
Let's see. I'm waiting on Twitch to come up here.
Yeah, Twitch has always got that 20-second delay, whatever.
Yeah. And I don't see it live on Facebook yet. That's weird. They put out the notification we were going live, but it didn't do it.
What's it say on Restream? Does it say it's good or not?
Yeah, let me look on Restream. Dashboard.
I guess I could load it on my other screen.
It's just sending data.
Alright, Facebook. Do we want to go with it or we want to...
Well, Twitch also says sending it too. It doesn't look like it's...
Alright.
And I'm echoing for some reason. Let me see. Is it coming from your side?
Is it gone now?
I don't know. Is it?
Oh, there it was. It was my speakers.
Okay.
Probably gone
I
now.
am hearing myself and it's driving me nuts.
Alright, I'm checking our page real quick. Yeah, I'm not showing it. Not showing it as live.
Yeah, that's weird.
Alright, let me check Restream right quick.
I hate when this stuff happens.
Yeah, but you know what are you gonna do? Sometimes it just happens. Restream.
It looks like it's Twitch's. I cycled it, so it looks like Twitch might be coming up here in a minute.
Did you cycle Facebook?
I just cycled it. I'm waiting for it to
Alright.
ending. Well, Facebook's not as big of a deal.
Twitch is, yeah, kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm jumping on Twitch to see what I can see. Shows us is streaming on there. If I go to the channel, yeah, it's
live.
alright. Let's do the dang thing.
I agree.
Regardless of what we got, we're doing it. Alright. Waiting for the picture to come up. Might be a minute. Sorry for anybody who's waiting. Technical things, you know. Alright, we're good. So, greetings, citizens of the internet. I'm Static Buzz, and with me, as always, is Oz. How you doing over there, Oz?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good.
Not
Can't
going
complain.
stir crazy?
Well, that's a different story. I think we all are at this point.
Yeah. I've been, as we were discussing earlier, thinking of ways to break the monotony. So,
Yeah.
hopefully we can maybe do some of that stuff and break out of this funk that we're all in.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Because it just...
Yeah,
you don't do anything. You just sit at the house and be bored and work and... I don't know.
I've been lucky that I get to focus on the project that I've been wanting to do for about a year now with Persona 5 Royals. So
I saw that. I saw it's doing really well.
I haven't really had time to think of much else because to do what I'm doing the way I'm doing it takes a while. It's not quick, but it's all right. It's worth it. I'm getting the results that I like, I want, and when I'm saying that, I mean the video. The video comes out the way that I want it to come out. It looks good, and it's got the stuff on the screen the way I like it, and all that stuff. So, and people seem to be supporting it, so it's all good.
That's what's important.
Yep. All right, so anyways, what is this that we're doing here? Just talking random talk? No, this is the Gaming Watch Weekly show number 30. 30, can you believe we made 30?
Yeah, I was looking at that today when I was filling out the notes. I was like, we actually finally flipped episode 30, so...
It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
And it's for April 4th, 2020, which is today. Actually, sorry, April 5th. I must have fat fingered that up on the notes. It's April 5th. April 5th. So for 2020, and what this is we go over all the gaming news that's happened over the last week, so you guys can get caught up going into next week. So we do this every Sunday, so you guys know we're still trying to be consistent on the time, but we're both busy, like I always say, so we do it when we can. And without further ado, I'll go into the first story here in a second.
Roll the...
I need some agua. All right. Saints Row the Third Remastered. So there's a listing on the ESRB site, a new listing that says Saints Row the Third by Koch Media, Koch, Coach Koch. I don't know how they pronounce it. If I'm saying it wrong, sorry. So it's listed for Windows, PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and is rated M with the following description. This is an open-world action-adventure game in which players assume the role of a criminal syndicate known as the Saints. As players attempt to take over a fictional city and exact revenge on a rival gang, they engage in driving and combat missions to progress the storyline. Players using machine guns, shotguns, swords, rocket launchers, and grenades to kill gang members. It went on and on. It's the way that the ESRB describes the game. It goes on to say there's a lot of cussing in the game. There's blah 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 blah, that kind of stuff.
Saints Row's always been that way, though.
Yeah. It's not a knock on it. It's just the way it is.
No,
they just put down what's in the game, so people who want to go there and get a better understanding of what their kids might be playing, they could see that. Some would say this might be probably the best Saints Row that they came out with before they got really crazy with the alien stuff and everything. I don't know.
I liked 1 through 3. All beyond that, it got absolutely ridiculous.
But it was fun. It was crazy fun.
Fun, but ridiculous. And I kind of was like, I'm done. Because I liked Saints Row for what it was. And then they take it in this outlandish way, and it ruined it. I mean, I hate to say it, but there was that one baseball bat that was like a big dildo, and
that was in this one, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that was awesome. But that was the beginning of the ridiculousness.
Yeah,
the first 1 and 2 were fairly serious, like trying to take over other people's territory and all of that stuff. It was kind of Grand Theft Auto-ish, but then 3 and beyond, but 3 was still good. It was the Beyond ones where I was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out.
3 is where they started getting a little nuts with everything, and they stopped trying to be the GTA competition.
Yeah, and I think that's what did it for me. I liked them as competition for Grand Theft Auto. I really did.
Well, competition's good. It pushes both, right?
It makes them both work hard, yeah, instead of just giving it to Rockstar, going, hey, you got it, man. It's all you.
It's all you, baby. Yeah, I don't know. I might play this again, depending on how much it costs when it comes out. At this point,
remastered? Yeah, I'll probably play the remastered.
At this point, though, why not make it for the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox One X series?
They might roll it forward. You never know.
Yeah, they will. It will. But I mean, why not push for that? Add those at least to your listing here so that it.
Well, we don't even know. It doesn't even have a release date yet, right?
No, it's just an ESRB rating, so it means that they've rated it. Who knows if it'll ever even see the light of day? It's been rated.
It should. It should see the light of day.
We would hope. We would definitely hope. But some things might not see the light of day. If you want to take the next story.
Sure. So here's another sad one. If you're a fan of The Last of Us and looking forward to the second one, much like I was, it has been delayed indefinitely. It had a scheduled release date of May 29th, but a text came out from Naughty Dog pretty much saying due to the COVID-19 thing and all of that other stuff going on in the world, it's not going to happen, and they're not going to put a date behind it at this point. So it's delayed indefinitely, but I'm still fingers crossed this year. So
yeah, I see that like a month or two after either the COVID-19 stuff is done or we adjusted to it, that this will come out. It's hopefully it gives them time to polish the game more.
Well, from what I've seen on it, it looks pretty good. It looks like it's kind of close to being done from when I was pulling stories today to do, and I was looking at it, and I'm like, it looks pretty good. I mean, it's just there's a few things they got to get done, but due to logistic issues, it's just not going to be released on time. I mean, it was already delayed previously because we did a whole delayed video pretty much, and this was on it, and now it's delayed again.
There's like so many things delayed. Yeah, so the indefinite part's the bad part.
Yeah, and I mean, I looked on several different of the sites that we kind of go to pull our stuff, and unfortunately, it's just all the same stuff. Different title, same wording, not out anytime soon. So, sad news when it comes to The Last of Us.
Thinking about it, I would not be surprised if they hold off until the PlayStation 5 releases and they make this a release title on there. It'll still be playable on PS4, but they could make it a release title on PS5.
I don't know. I don't think we have a release date for the 5, so...
We don't.
See, the thing is they're going to want to get this out before that. They've already got it done and polished up for 4. Why? I mean, they could, do a high-rendered version for the 5, but my thing is, this one was built for 4. Let's just get it out the door. Get it into people's hands. We'll be able to play it on the 5 anyways, from my understanding of how it'll roll back, and this is a big title, so I don't see why it wouldn't,
Yeah, it'll be playable on 5, that's for sure. I don't think when we go to the newer consoles, we're going to see a huge push for higher fidelity. I think these type of games like Last of Us and God of War and Halo Infinite and all these games that are in development, they're already, well, God of War's not, maybe 2 is, but
they're working on it. They are.
We're hoping they're working on it, but they're already 4K.
Yeah,
they're already 4K, so I think they're going to work on more of like a stable refresh rate or more ray tracing, those type of things.
Oh yeah, it'll definitely be high fidelity. It's going to basically look really shiny on the 5. I mean, it looked good on the 4. I mean, I enjoyed. I didn't finish it yet, but it's on the shelf. But it looked great. I love the story, but yeah, I think it'll just be a polished up version. But now to do a new one to further advance the story, that'll definitely be on 5.
Oh
definitely.
yeah. Well,
definitely, and I know they're working on it. They have to be with how successful the last one was.
Well, so. I don't think they're... Oh, you're talking about God of War.
Yeah.
Definitely, God of War is coming. It's just
and for this, like Last of Us, that's going to be a continuing title, I think, as well. We all love post-apocalyptic type stuff. I mean, that's why The Walking Dead still isn't done and over with yet. Even though they've taken out almost all the good characters, they're still plugging along.
Well, I haven't watched that show since season 1, so...
Oh, I like it. It's just I kind of like, all right, you've deviated from the comic book series, and my attention span cannot keep going. Like, I'm to the point where I have to binge things. So it's like, all right, let's get this done and over with so I can, like, watch it. I mean, the Mandalorian, waiting like we did for that was like pulling teeth. I wanted all the episodes all at once so I could just get through it. I do not like waiting at this point anymore.
You losing your patience?
Streaming's ruined it for us because it's like, oh, I could sit down and watch all of Dexter from start to end and not even have to worry about it. So it's like, I don't know, waiting. What is this? What is
Yeah.
this? You know?
1990? What?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
I feel you there. It's one of those, yeah. But when it came to The Walking Dead, I was interested up to the point where he got to the camp. The sheriff, or whatever he was, he got to the camp, ran into his wife, who was now dating the guy who was running the camp, and I was like, this is now a damn soap opera.
It was better than that, but yeah.
Well, not by much. It became a soap opera, and I was like, no, not doing it. I tried. I tried to get past that. A couple episodes in, past that, and I was like, I can't do it. Everybody can love this show as much as they want, and I'm not watching a soap opera.
You know, it's. I like The Walking Dead for what it is. It's just it's drawn on a little too long at this point for people's attention span, and you know, I think they just kind of need to go like Breaking Bad, go out while they're still on top, you know. And I don't want to see something like that go diving down before they give up. Yeah. So sorry to segue
right.
into yeah.
Hey, that's what this is about, right?
Yeah.
If it's one of those things, if it's making money though, they're probably going to keep pushing on with it. So
Yeah, true.
probably do a spin-off or whatever.
They're
All
already
right.
doing a spin-off.
And that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I wasn't 100% sure.
Yeah, no, they already have.
All right, so on to the next one, which is kind of a bittersweet article, I guess. Rocksmith team starting a new project, and there will be no more DLC for Rocksmith. If you guys aren't familiar with Rocksmith, think Rock Band, but with a real guitar, and their focus is trying to teach people how to play the guitar and certain songs with the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
I have it. I dabble with it every once in a while. It's pretty fun. You can play the bass. You can play the lead guitar. You can play rhythm guitar. You can.
Oh.
I don't know if you can sing. I haven't tried that part of it, but yeah, it's a pretty decent product. I don't know if I'd call it a game as much as I would call it a product, because what it does.
Okay.
But it does have game aspects to it that makes it fun. All right. So, anyways, for April 3rd. They posted on their Rocksmith site the future. Actually, it was Ubisoft's site. They're part of Ubisoft. The future of Rocksmith. Hello, Rocksmith players. We have big news today. The Rocksmith team, both here in Ubisoft San Francisco and globally, is thrilled to finally let you know that we've been hard at work on a new project. To that end, we now need to shift focus away from DLC creation. As of this week, Opeth Song Pack, Rocksmith Remastered has concluded its scheduled DLC releases. After 383 weeks of DLC releases, this pack brings us to a total of 1,570 songs. 1,570 songs in Rocksmith's library, spanning over 7 decades, or 3 centuries in the case of Boxsmith. And covering a multitude of genres from guitars and bass for over a decade, we've watched players learn, grow, and constantly surprise us with your talent, creativity, and eagerness to help one another reach your goals. We truly could not be more proud to play a part in this guitar journey with you. Although we will no longer be releasing DLC, we still have weekly online content planned for Rocksmith fans. The Rocksmith dev stream will continue in a new format along with more surprises. We will also continue to share updates for our new project when we're ready on our website, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. For everyone at Rocksmith and Ubisoft, we thank you. Your continued support of Rocksmith is humbling, and we can't wait to start the next leg of our music learning journey together. I'm kind of interested to see where they go next, because Rocksmith is, like I said, a really good product for people who want to learn guitar and just jump in, and they like, Rock Band and all that stuff, and they just want to.
Rock Band was fun.
Yeah. So it's like I said, bittersweet. It's cool that they're making something new, but it's also like, well, no more new songs. So, but there's a lot.
You got 1,570 songs, so I think you're good for a little bit.
No, it's not enough, man. Not enough. I need more. I need more.
Yeah, no, it's they're probably working on something different. I don't know what it could be. Honestly, it's hard to fathom what they're gonna do. But yeah, but it'll be good. I mean, if it's from Ubisoft, it'll be good. They've done pretty good.
It'll at least be polished and look nice. I mean,
yeah, very true.
All right. So speaking of polish, hopefully they still have it. And who knows if it's going to look good or not? But the next story.
Yes. So for WoW Classic players, and this one, when I read it, I was kind of excited. ZG or Zul'Grub is coming to WoW Classic in April. Unfortunately, the Corrupted Blood Plague will not return to Azeroth. So I don't know if you remember this or anything, but when you're fighting Hakar, there was this Corrupted Blood debuff that they would put on, and basically it would kind of run havoc through the raid group. But when it was kind of attached to pets and they left the raid, it would spread throughout all of Azeroth. So if you look up like the Blood Plague in Azeroth, the CDC even studied this. They wiped out entire cities. You would run through Orgrimmar, Stormwind, the Undercity, any of them, and there'd just be skeletons everywhere where people were just dying, coming back, getting the plague, and dying again. So basically, the Blood Plague will be, or the Corrupted Blood will, but the plague will not. So it will not be able to leave the raid zone. That's how they ultimately fixed it. Was they had to take the servers down, patch it, and then make it to where that debuff couldn't leave the zone, and then they brought the servers back up. But, I mean, it was studied by the CDC to study behavior and how people would react. And, they found that there were people who were intentionally spreading it, and then there were people outside trying to cleanse and heal people, which they thought would happen in real life, as we have seen a little bit through the current pandemic, people going into grocery stores and whatnot, trying to spread it. So it's just kind of interesting. I was kind of sad to see that they wouldn't have it run havoc for a couple of days in Classic, but I could see why they wouldn't. But it goes live this month, so that's something to look forward to. So while Classic is doing well, and they are releasing the next raid. So exciting times. I even thought about CG, that would be fun to play again on a new character, but I'm not crazy enough to go back and start a new character. So.
Yeah, me neither. And I have mixed feelings about ZG, but I'll get into that in a minute.
Sure.
Here's a question for you, and I don't really know what the answer is. If this COVID-19 stuff wasn't going on, do you think they would have released it where they affected all of Azeroth?
No, because the Corrupted Blood Plague was never intended to affect all of Azeroth. It was just a debuff for the raid. Them not thinking about, if you have a debuff and you zone out of somewhere and the debuff is just to that zone, it goes away automatically. But they learned that from this, you know, to whereas if your pet, like a warlock or a hunter pet, it was on your pet and it killed it, and say you went into the auction house, because that's usually how you would spread it back in the day, is you go into the auction house and start spreading it through there, and then people run throughout the city and just spread it, and all of a sudden it was why is everybody dead? And then all of a sudden you're like, why am I dead? And then it's it was happening. Some people just didn't log in for a little while because they really just didn't know what was going on until we got the blue post on the forums about, hey, this was not intentional.
Yeah, but I remember it happening, and I thought it was hilarious. I mean, it was bad, but it was hilarious that they would miss something hilarious. Like that.
And it's great, but it was kind of funny because it would kill an average level 60 in I don't know, 30 seconds, or if it wasn't cleansed quick enough. So just imagine just all of that just going through Azeroth,
Yeah, and people who never went into ZG because ZG had just opened, and then all of a sudden they're like, "What is this thing that's on me. What is going on? Is this an event in the game world now?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yep.
I remember all that stuff going down, and it was weird.
Yeah, it's crazy, but yeah, I honestly, when I was reading, when I knew this was coming down I mean, I knew it was coming down the pipe a while ago, and I was reading, and people were asking like, "Are you gonna re-release the Plague?" You know, and they were like, "No, that was never the intent in the first place. It was just an accident. We learned from our mistakes." So yeah, even with this COVID-19 thing going on, it wouldn't be released. It's just
Right.
funny and
That
how
is
we
funny.
learn from our mistakes.
So for me, ZG is a kind of a culmination of when I realized that World of Warcraft had fully changed, and I did not think it was for the better. And what I mean by that is this is about the time when damage meters were like expected to be installed and running on everybody's before you raided. There was, like it was a list of raid add-ons that you should have, and damage meters was one of them. But the problem is you could have Omen and you could have one of the other. I don't remember all the different damage meters, and they would report differently depending on how they were set up. So somebody would see that, oh well, yeah, I'm second on DPS, and somebody else would see, well, you're last on DPS. And I got kicked from a couple of raids because people thought I wasn't doing enough DPS when I'm like second, third on the chart, and I'm like, really? And that's not the problem here. The problem wasn't the amount of DPS I was doing. It was people not knowing the mechanics of the fight. And at that point, I started realizing, man, if it's coming down to that, which, I can always push my DPS. I can always be up there in top 5 on bigger raids, or top 2, sometimes top 1 if I really want to push myself. But I shouldn't have to if we're getting the content done, and it's the mechanics of it, not how much DPS you're doing. So I don't know. That's where I thought that that and the gear score stuff really started to make the decline of WoW. Before then, it was about your friends and being polite to people. Then it started becoming about the numbers.
Well, gear score didn't come. Really, gear score wasn't a big thing until like Wrath. That's when they started assigning fixed numbers to pieces of gear.
Right, but I'm saying that was all
the damage meters. Yeah, damage meters. Yeah, but like Omen back in the day, it reported, the further away you were from like that person who was doing the damage,
they would miss. Yeah,
it would skew your numbers. Now Omen has fixed that since then, but yeah, back in the day it was kind of the Wild West, where if you didn't tweak your settings on Omen, it would report, being that you're on the other side of the room. Ooh, Hannah's noisy. It would all of a sudden report a lower number, just depending on your distance from them. And of course, that's all better now. But yeah, back then it was really screwed up.
Right.
And I get it. I mean, it caused a lot of like grief where it's like, dude, mine is showing me up here, and yours is showing me here. There is a variable, and people just, So I don't know.
It was it was just one of those things. I thought that whoa, something just.
That was me. I muted myself because Hannah was screaming.
Yeah, but I only see you on the screen now.
Oh, sorry.
Let's see here.
I was trying to keep it down because she was.
That's all right. I think I fixed it.
I don't know. I got to refresh it.
No, I think you just let it go. It's fine. It's good.
Okay.
No biggie. A little technical difficulty, but I don't know. I just thought that at that point when before then it was about friends and community and guilds and doing things together, and then it shifted into being more about numbers and all that stuff, and that's where I thought that it lost its original identity for what it was. That's just my thoughts on it. Not to go into a big WoW rant or anything.
No, I get it, but like I said, early on raiding was rough. It wasn't the Care Bear system we have now, where everybody deserves a chance to raid. It was like back then you had to show you had the ability to raid, and now it's like, oh, wow, raiding light, here you go, have at it. And I think that's really kind of ruined it for people like you, me, and my brother who have supported WoW since vanilla, um, making it just too easy for everybody. And that's not quite where I think it should be. Now, I mean, everybody deserves a chance to raid, but or see the content, but be a part of like the top percent that down it or whatever. That's different. But yeah, I haven't liked the direction. We have talked about this many times.
But your thoughts on it are a little different than mine, though. Yours are that it makes it easier, which I don't really have an issue with that. What my issue is they gate it behind gear score. And then people see that gear score and like, well, I don't want to bring you if you're like 5 gear score lower than what you should be to be in this, even though you could be like the best in your class ever played it and make up for that 5 gear score. They won't take you into a raid because of it. And it's those type of things. And then it's just, yeah, I mean, sometimes, okay, so like as a hunter, sometimes I need to ice trap that guy. Sometimes I need to misdirect. Sometimes I need to do these things that are different than DPS, and that takes away from my DPS. But they're important to get through the content. And if all the people are doing is looking at DPS, then you're not going to be doing your job, even though you're doing your job. So it's kind of one of those. That's why I only like to raid with my guild for the most part. I mean, looking for raid is one thing. But back to my point was I can't raid with my guild being a fresh max level without going and getting the gear to get there. And, that's heroics, that's, looking for raid, those type of things, or dailies. And those all take forever when I could just jump in and do a raid with my guild mates and get geared up in, no time at all if that wasn't an issue where, his gear score's 20 lower than what it should be or whatever it is. It's just like, yeah. I think gear score for one, but it just ruined it for me.
Well, yeah. I mean, it went away from skill checks to a gear check system, if you don't have a purple in every slot and it's a purple from the current content, you're not good enough. But it's like, well, I don't know about you, but I can have at least one blue in there and still be in the top 10% of my raid for DPS wise as a warlock. I mean, let's face it, and it's like that's our differences in opinion. And my thing is, I just didn't like the fact that they made it like easy, that's.
Well, I mean, but we've discussed this. There are ways of getting the difficulty back if you want, but you have to gear up through all that other garbage to get to it. That's the problem.
Well, yeah, there's definitely different avenues to gear up. I mean, granted, LFR, looking for raid is one avenue.
Well, I mean, but to get to the harder raids, right? I mean, beyond the normal, there's what Mythic and there's.
Mythic, I think, is the top level. I can't remember it.
But there's like hard and then Mythic or whatever. There's like a couple layers. To get to each one, you've got to do the normal and get the gear from there and then go to the next one and then to the next one.
Well, that's normal progression rating.
It wasn't always like that. There was just a raid and it was difficult because it was difficult.
Well, yeah, but they didn't start really doing that until, around Wrath, where it was basically... raids had a normal and the normal 10-man and then the heroic 10-man,
right?
And but again, like I've never, when I was like raiding, I mean, back then I don't think we ever did a full clear of a heroic version of a raid. We could go in there and down specific bosses, but to do a full like we weren't that good. We were just doing normal progressive rating, like trying to be competitive enough to do a normal clear while everybody else was doing a normal clear.
Right.
But yeah, doing heroic stuff. I didn't get into the heroic stuff. That's min-maxing. That's, make sure you have your pots, take your potion rate before you, and it's like, that's a little too nitpicky, and that's not where I'm at. No.
All right. Well, this is a horse we've beat many times. So let's
many
move on.
Times.
Let's move on. All right. IGN announces Summer of Gaming event in June. All right, this is from the IGN site. IGN is proud to announce our new Summer of Gaming event, a global digital event set to begin this June to bring you the latest news and impressions around upcoming games and the next generation of console hardware. IGN will be collaborating with a number of partners for the Summer of Games, including 2K, Square Enix, Sega, Bandai Namco, Amazon, Google Stadia, Twitter, Devolver Digital, THQ Nordic, and more. Expect more details in the coming weeks. The event will include live broadcast and on-demand programming featuring IGN's editorial coverage of the work of game developers from around the world. Yeah, and they go on to describe more about that. So if you want to know more, go to the IGN site and check that out. They didn't give an exact date is the only thing that I was a little kind of blah about, but it's going to be online, so I guess if you just pay attention and watch for it, then you'll know that it's coming in June. Hopefully they'll have more in it when they get more specifics, but yeah, it should be good to kind of fill in that E3 gap that we're not getting.
Hopefully. Yeah, unfortunately, no E3. Makes me sad. Yeah. It does.
Well, the announcements and everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those that you look forward to every year because it kind of sets everything up at what's coming out. So it's just, yeah, they got to do it via the internet now, and it's less, climactic. As watching it E3, going, okay, I'm seeing the trailer for the first time like everybody else, instead of stumbling across it, going, oh, they put a post out, I just didn't see it,
Well, there's going to be live events too, so that you can watch them with everybody, and hopefully Reveals will be part of that, because they should realize that people want that. They want to be there at the first time with everybody else. They don't want to have to see it later.
Yeah.
So hopefully they do it right. The other thing, I didn't put this in an article, but E3, the ESA or whatever, the company that does E3. Basically announced their 2021 show, and they're going to be reimagining what E3 is, but they didn't talk about any of the live streamed stuff that they were talking about doing this year. So I don't know if that's still a go for this year or what, but
E3?
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to do an E3 this year at this point.
Well, I thought they were going to do some live stream.
Yeah, they said they would do. Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be E3. I think it's just going to be, some like state of the game for the Division. There's going to be a bunch of people up on a screen talking about it, not up on a stage with the the trailer playing in the background and the crowd getting all excited. It's going to be very...
Right, I get that, but what I'm wondering is if this IGN thing is taking place of the E3, and E3 just like, you guys do it, we're going to step back, we'll focus on 2021. They haven't said that, but that's kind of how I feel about it.
I think IGN's just stepping up to fill the void, because there's been enough sad pandas out there that it's like, okay, we got to do something, because obviously... everybody is upset about it, so we gotta help us out, developer, game companies, give us something to put out there. But I don't think it's gonna replace it. It's just I think it's gonna temporarily fill a void that's there due to
I think it might replace it this year.
Oh, for this year, but I don't think going forward will it be anything. Now, if it has some success, they might continue to do it, which would be another.
Well, IGN has always live streamed E3 and the events. They've always been there and did interviews and stuff like that, and been a huge part of it. So, yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see for sure. Yeah. Oz, are you a sad panda?
I was a little bit about not having E3 this year, but this whole year, beginning of the year, kind of it's just we rolled into the beginning of the year with a shit ton of delays. And then this damn pandemic, has pushed everything further back. And it's like, 2020 sucks already. I'm looking forward to next year, and I'm not even 5 months into the year. That's like, God, can we just wipe it and do a reload? That whole quick save reload.
Quick save reload. Yeah, let's go back to January 1st, 2020, and start over.
Yeah, minus all of the bad news.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
We might have to go back into 2019 and stop the whole COVID thing in China.
Well, I blame them for it too, but that's a completely different topic.
Let's pull a Bill and Ted's.
Yeah. Yeah, this is bogus, man.
69, dude.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and let's talk about the next thingamajig.
Sure. So Hearthstone's Demon Hunter prologue campaign is live. So basically, rolling into Ashes of the Outland, I think is what the next one's called. I'm having a moment here, but basically there is a story campaign, and when you complete it, you get some sweet loots. It unlocks the Demon Hunter class, and then you get I think it's roughly 20 basic cards. So I am probably going to do that, and try to I'll probably record it and then do it, because occasionally I pull something stupid and then completely have to wipe the board and start over because I played it wrong. But I'll put something out there for the Demon Hunter thing.
Yeah, but that's always fun.
Yeah. So basically, I guess the Demon Hunter is supposed to be fast and aggressive, which typically I don't play fast and aggressive. If you ever noticed, if you ever watched any of my old stuff when the past summer event was going on, the Dr. Boom event, I basically stacked the deck with enough mines that eventually my opponent blew themselves up, and I just basically had enough cards out to protect me. So, I generally don't very aggressively, but this might force me to do that. So, definitely looking forward to it. This is what I wanted, was a Demon Hunter-ish type of release instead of the Age of the Dragon. But the Dragon one's been pretty good. I know I didn't record much on it, and I probably should do more, but basically I got to go back to Hearthstone and get caught up again.
I would like to say that you were right that Illidan Stormrage is the hero. So
Illidan, yes, but everyone loves Illidan. He's one of those, like, during BC we were like, oh damn you Illidan, but then later on found out why Illidan was being Illidan, and there was a greater story going on, and we didn't realize that we were just being, whiny and wanted to kill him when we didn't need to kill him.
He's a good guy.
He was a good guy, and he sacrificed himself to do what he did. So yeah, I liked Illidan.
Yeah, I don't. This is not enough to make me go play Hearthstone. I
like Hearthstone.
I only like card games when I'm actually playing against another human in front of me. Then it's kind of entertaining. But
I like story. So it tells a good story from, at least from the past ones Blizz has put out. I like the story. So
yeah, that hasn't been bad. It just I don't know. Card games and me, meh. I played Magic the Gathering, and I can't play it online, but I can play it with other people. It's fine. Yeah.
Are you talking the actual deck, the cards, or are you talking? Oh, okay. So
I have cards.
Oh yeah, so do I. It's just something I haven't touched in a long time, so I'm sure whatever I have is extremely out of date.
Yeah, I haven't touched in my Magic the Gathering cards in 2 years at least. So.
Oh, I'm way older than that. Yeah. So.
Well, I was playing with my kids because they wanted to play. Mine are old enough to do that. Yours, not so much. She'd be like, "Daddy, look!" Or she'd be like, But
pretty much.
Yeah. Mine's all, "Here, take this, you old fart," and I'm like, "Ah." All right. On to the next story. Twitch viewership up during everyone's lockdown or quarantine or whatever you want to call this thing we're in right now. So Jess Wells reports on The Loadout. That's a website. So go check that out. In the last quarter alone, half of which has been dominated by the COVID-19 quarantine policies around the world, Twitch has hit a new all-time high for hours watched, hours streamed, 3 billion, and average concurrent users. YouTube's CCU is also at an all-time high, increased by 15.5% since the last quarter. And Facebook Gaming tripled its hours watched, doubled its hours streamed, and its average concurrent users count quadrupled. And although we haven't mentioned Mixer yet, it's doing numbers. The platform has more active streamers than Facebook Gamer or YouTube combined, and out of all the platforms, it has the second most hours streamed, 28.3 million this quarter, trailing only Twitch, 121.4 million. That's pretty far to trail. I went
still.
I went and looked at the chart for like the last 2 weeks. Was it 2 weeks or 2 days? But on stream on Twitch, and it definitely spikes up really high, like almost 24 million, and it goes then it drops down. But in its peak on the days, it's like 23 million people viewing Twitch, so it's pretty huge.
Oh yeah,
and not a surprise.
No, not a surprise at all. But we knew that was coming. Look at everyone watching. What is that YouTube series about the tiger guy? Shit, I can't
Tiger
remember it
King.
now. Yeah, I haven't even touched it, but it was like everybody's watching it. And
like I said earlier, they're done with all the stuff that they've been binging, and they're looking for something else to do.
Yeah. Well, like for me, it's been playing a lot of The Division, doing the seasonal stuff, trying to get you caught up. Now you can do the seasonal stuff, but it's just you can't do anything, can't go anywhere. Finally, like here in Arizona, they shut down the nail salons and the haircut places, so you're about to see your spouse and what they really look like here soon.
Well,
so it's just sit down, watch. It's crazy.
I'll go back to the Division 2 and being caught up. That Keener fight, if Ubisoft or anybody developer is listening out there, screw you. All right, my build is around skills. Okay, so I did my build around skills, and then you take a fight like Keener and you just wipe it out for 90% of the fight. You can't use your skills. I was so infuriated, it was ridiculous, and we should have recorded that because that would have been a good video to put out. But that was so infuriating.
I wanted to stream it, but I didn't know that. I didn't think about it. We should have, though. That would have been good.
That fight was so frustrating. So frustrating. I wanted to throw my mouse.
I know. You were mad. It was because basically partway through the fight, he kind of hacks your equipment. And all you have are your primary, secondary, and special weapon. So at one point, I remember you jumped down, pulled out the minigun, and you were trying to lay into him. And it was,
And not to mention, he was cheating because you'd be looking at him, and all of a sudden, his turrets and crap would be like right behind you, and you're in his circle, and you're like, he didn't throw anything. He didn't do anything. They're just throwing. It's like, it was garbage. It was garbage.
It was. But it was fun. We got it.
Yeah, we got
about two tries after our frustration climaxed. And then we were like, all right, let's just calm down and let's get it.
3 deaths. But yeah, then we had to go, okay, fine. We're gonna have to keep shooting this guy because he keeps healing. We can't heal with our normal means. We got to use our armor packs. And because you took away my skill. And we got to deal with all his attrition stuff because he's throwing down those turrets, just whittling away our health.
Mm-hmm.
And he's getting health back. So yeah, we eventually got through it. But man, I wanted to reach through the screen, grab a developer, and choke him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, soloing it wasn't as bad. It still took me about 3 tries. But it was not fun.
I still say that they're scaling up with 2 people is not right. It seems like it's almost like for 4 people.
Well, I think why it's scaling up so high early on, like when you and I were starting out early on, is because I was already max level and I had completed almost all of Warlords or all of it, and you were just coming in or trailing me. So they were like, well, he's max level, he's partway through, so let's just throw a bunch of Gillos at him and see if they can survive. And
Well,
it was not.
it's beyond that for me though, because like, okay, remember that one mission we were doing and they sent the 3 heavies out, and you said when you did it they only sent out 1.
Oh yeah, the one because they were all behind the shields with a nail.
Yeah, and the nail gun.
Oh my god,
yeah,
that was bad.
and it was like, well, why are they sending 3? If they're sending 1 out for 1 person, why are they sending out 3 out for 2?
Yeah,
It didn't make sense to me. I just think their scaling's a little foobar, and they need to fix that.
yeah. Well, I mean, they're trying to fix stuff. They just did a whole round of bans for people glitching DPS and stuff. If you listen to their state of the game from last week.
Can you blame them with crap like Keenan?
Well, yeah, but
Just saying,
the thing is,
just
you
saying.
still know that glitching the game is going to get you banned. So, like, don't do it. I understand the frustration. I mean, look at where I'm at. Like, I am pretty much on hold for a part of the completion of this current target because I can't solo the Pentagon and DARPA on hard mode because it's just entirely too much for one person to handle, you know.
Have we ever discussed my thoughts on glitching in games and people getting banned for them? Have we ever had the discussion?
No, maybe offline. I don't remember.
Okay, so there was a thing in EverQuest where they were fighting this dragon that's supposed to be unkillable. That was the thought behind it. I can't remember which dragon it was. But what this guild did, and I think it was Afterlife, I might be wrong on the name of the guild, but what they did is they put all their healers under a bridge. And the tanks were fighting on top of the bridge, and the dragon couldn't hurt the healers, but the healers could heal through the bridge.
Oh.
To me, that's good strategy, right? That's
Yeah.
awesome. But the devs were like, well, no, that's cheating the game. That's not how it was designed. How am I supposed to know being a player? For one.
Well,
but
I
they
mean-
started banning people and stuff like that. And it's kind of the same thing here. If I could do it in-game without doing like a mod or a program or a trainer or something like that, it's not on me. It's on you to fix your game. It's on you
Sure.
to fix your game. And if I can glitch through a map and cheat, you know, that's kind of gray area there. But
Yeah, I would agree. It's
I shouldn't
just,
get banned. Maybe I lose all the equipment that you gave me, roll me back to before I did it or something. But to ban me, that seems a little excessive for glitching your game.
So, Ubisoft did roll some people back, and then they gave some people a temporary ban. They haven't done a permanent ban yet, you know, but they're just saying, "Hey, enough's enough," you know. Stop breaking the game and maxing out your DPS because that's the way they're doing it is not intended.
What's the glitch though? I mean,
I don't remember because I don't look for glitches. I try to beat the game sheerly on
right.
firepower, you know, because that's my play style. But there was something with interacting with the turret, so I had to be the one guy that uses the where he would throw the electricity things out. Because remember, there's a turret there that you have to interact with before you go on. And they're like, oh, that's Kojima's turret, blah, blah, blah. And I think somehow interacting with that, and then you have to do something else, and it ramps up your DPS on what you were doing. I honestly don't know because I didn't really dive into it. But I knew it had interacting with a turret to doing something else to getting your DPS to where it was, where you wanted it, and it was crazy. So... But yeah, that type of stuff, yeah, that you need to be like, okay, enough's enough. We're going to roll you back, take away whatever you had accomplished, and then
Well, if you're
you do it
repeatedly
again.
doing it and,
Yeah.
and it's obvious, then okay, yeah, I can see rolling them back.
Yeah,
Banning
well,
them, I'm like, no, fix your game. Fix your game. If I could do it in your game, fix your game.
Well, I mean, that glitch is now fixed since the most recent patch. But I'm just saying it was something that was unintended. But, you know, to me, it's like, if it's obvious that this isn't the obvious outcome, oh, this is unexpected, and yet you keep doing it over and over again, it's like, well, then you obviously know that's a glitch, and you shouldn't do it because you're going to get caught. You know, to me, that's like the whole morals.
Still of the mindset of it's in the game.
But that's an unintended thing. That's
How
in
am
the
I supposed to
game.
know it's unintended? Tell me that.
I mean, so
If all it does is ramp up my damage, right?
yeah.
Then how am I supposed to know that the buff or whatever that I'm getting that's causing that isn't intentional? I
Well,
mean, it's
not,
kind
not
of
like
that
it's
gray
applying
area.
a buff to you. If it was applying a status buff, then yes, that would be the intent. But it's not applying anything. It's just ramping up. You're doing something that isn't like. Why
And
would
you
you
also
be doing,
have to be paying attention to your numbers. Whoever
Yeah.
ran across it the first time ran across it on accident.
Yeah, yeah, and that's usually how it happens. But that was like back in the original one, the Bullet King back in the day, and then he was like a loot pinata, and those people got in trouble for doing that, because they would glitch him and then loot pinata, and it's like, okay, that's again unintended outcome. Yes, it's in the game, but you're doing something that the devs probably didn't think ahead on, and yes, they fixed it, but people got slapped on the wrist for going, hey, you know better than that. And for me, it's like, yeah, you know it better. It's in the user agreement. Like, you shouldn't be doing stuff like that. If it's not the intent,
I don't know. I
then
still
don't
think
do
if
it.
it's in the game, you need to fix your game.
Well, yes, fix your game, and they do fix it.
But then they punish the people who used it while it was
Who
in the game.
who abuse it. There's a difference. Like, doing it once, doing it twice, maybe. But constantly doing it to, shred through people, shred through content, or do something unintentional or loot pinata type thing. That's not the intent, and you need to fix that. But you also, as the user, you've got to know that's not the intent.
Right, but let's go back. Okay, so let's say that the loot pinata happens, all right, and they're getting that. How long is the loot that they got there in a game that's constantly progressing really going to benefit them? Who cares?
Well, if it helps them get through the current content and then just owning people, I mean, that kind of ruins it for everybody else, So for me, it's like, I don't know. I'm just not that type of player that it's like, okay.
I'm not either, but I don't think that people should get like severely punished for it.
Well, they're not. I mean, usually it's rolling back what you have achieved to just before you did it, and then a temporary ban where you can't log in for a little while. I mean, you've got to be really doing it for a company to go, okay, you're permabanned.
I get what you're saying. I'm just saying that developers and people who are making these games, it's their fault that stuff's in their game because they didn't do enough quality testing or whatever. They're not quick enough with their ability to be able to hot fix these type of things. It's their fault. It's not the players' fault. The players are going to do whatever the players can do. Yeah. And the mindset that they're glitching it and they're doing these things to make the game easier and they should be banned or punished, I think is just dumb. If they're not using a third-party thing, like Diablo 3, there are people that were using a program that ran their character for them to level them up. Yes, ban them for doing that if they do it online. Well, that game's only online, so you ban those accounts. I agree with that. Now, if I found a glitch in the game that let me kill a boss with one hit, and it's in the game because you forgot, you messed up, then that's not on me. I'm going to do the thing the easiest way I can. I don't. But you know what I'm saying? That's most people's human natures. I'm going to go and do the easiest thing possible and kill Diablo with one hit and get his loot, which isn't great because it's all random. But I don't know. I don't agree with developers being heavy-handed with that kind of stuff.
And they're not heavy-handed. I'm just saying they're not. This was going on for a while before they finally were like, enough's enough.
But that goes back to their ability not being able to hotfix things like they should be able to.
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard right now. Just saying, they can't hotfix things as readily as they could while being in the office. So,
can you do everything you do on your computer? From
majority,
home?
There's just a few things I still can't do, but it's not mission critical.
I could do everything I need to do. And if I was a programmer, I could log into my computer at work from home and fix the program there and hotfix it. I'm just saying. You can't use it as an excuse. The only difference is they're at home and, they have to log in their computer and do a VPN or whatever to get to It's
I'm
not an
just saying
excuse.
it's not as easy with the current stuff that's going on, but they have been more than accommodating for like knock it off, stop doing this stuff, putting out posts, telling people not to do it, and then people still doing it. So it's like, okay, well, at
Well,
this point,
I never read the post. So what if I would have done it and found
you'd
it?
have probably gotten rolled back to
And I would have been
previously
for
doing
I
it.
would have been like for what?
And
I'd have been like for what? I didn't read your
well,
post.
they'd have
I'm
told
supposed
you
to
they're
read
not
your
gonna.
post. Come on now.
I mean, I'm just saying, man. I mean, that's
A
how it
post
works.
where? Where did they post this? I never saw nothing.
On their forums.
I don't
Or
read
most
their
people-
forums.
No, you don't, but some people do. I do occasionally.
Just saying. That's pretty big ask for people to like read their forum, and that's where we're going to
I'm
report
just
it.
saying, man.
How
And
about
if
a
you-
big message when you log into the game? Hey, this is a glitch. Don't do it. If you do, you
Well-
get banned. That would be a better solution than a forum where what 5% of the people might go to it.
Well, they also said it in the state of the game a couple of times too.
And I don't watch every one of those, and sometimes I skip around. Just saying, that's a big ask that you expect me to go in and follow everything you do to know what I can't do in your game because you can't fix it. That's a
I
big
get it.
ask. That's a big ask.
I get it.
All right, so instead of rolling things back, this next group rolled things forward. You want to go into that?
Yes. So NVIDIA's GTX 650 is getting G6 because the industry is running low on GDDR5. So apparently, now the GTX 1650 is it's an older card. So, but it's still being produced, still being sold. It's just, I think with the newest ones coming out are now going to have the GDDR6, which is interesting. I still wouldn't go out and get one unless it was, necessary. But yeah, it's pretty interesting that they are, like for me, I'd have just discontinued that series of card. I'd been like, all right, it's hit its life. You did a good job. See you later. But they're obviously still making money off of it for mid-grade builds. So you're just going to get a boost in your memory on the card.
Yeah. I think what I find most interesting is there was no price hike.
Well, why would you price hike it? I mean, that's
Because
not
the
there.
memory costs more.
It probably doesn't at this point. GDR6 is probably, with the readily availableness of the GDDR6, is probably cheaper than 5 because 5's harder to come by.
So then they should have dropped the price. Dang it.
And as it is, I mean, when I looked at it, it was $200, I think. So that's not bad.
No.
for
Sorry,
a
I'm just
mid-grade
ornery
card.
today. I'm just very ornery today.
Oh, you need to get out, man. Go out for a walk.
Well, if I still had my house, I would have my punching bag out back and I'd be hitting that to relieve stress. But I don't have a house right now, so I'm in my apartment. But you're right. I do need to get out and walk around and get some
Get
fresh
some vitamin D. That'll help, man.
I take it every day.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah. That and fish oil for my digestive system.
I take krill oil for my triglycerides.
Triglycerides. Yeah, they said my triglycerides were a little high last time I was in. But,
Yeah, so did I. I got that this year.
I think
That's
that
what you get for being in that middle-aged bracket.
I think they just constantly look for something like, okay, it's cholesterol. I fixed that, and they're like, okay, well, what's next? And it's like, well, now he needs to watch his triglycerides. So like, well, you didn't say that before. What's next? Sugar, even though my sugar level's been good on every time I've seen the test. It's like they go down the list. Well, this one looks like it's higher than it should be. He could probably drop that. Triglycerides.
They want to nitpick you.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man. And they're always like, you want a pill for that? No, just tell me what I need to cut out and not eat, and I'll fix it. Like,
That's good.
yeah, I'm with you there. Triglycerides. That was the last thing for me. Like, you need to drop that. Like, what? I can't have a burrito anymore? I got to have a bowl? But yeah, the GDDR6, I thought that was interesting. I put that in there like we were talking about earlier just because I've never seen a company do that. I would have discontinued the card like you mentioned. I don't know why they didn't, but it might
still a popular mid-grade build piece. So
yeah, and looking at the hierarchy, it was below the 1080 GTX, but not by a whole lot.
no.
So
No, it's probably still quasi-competitive.
yeah,
You know, so
and it's a $300 card from what I was looking at. Well, the TI was the 1650 Ti. Was,
and then they have the Super.
yeah, Super was a little bit below that.
Yeah,
The Super is something they added over the last couple of years, which is weird.
yeah.
They added it with the newer cards as well. It's like, oh, well, we fixed some things that we didn't see on release, so we're going to put those into a card and call it Super because it performs
Super.
a little bit better. Yeah. I'm still waiting for them to announce their next card set. This should be...
that should be any time now.
I've heard June, July when there was going to be some conference, but there's no conference, so who knows?
Like I said, should be any time.
We can hope.
Yeah.
Hope. All right. And on to a little bit more happy, sunshiny, bunny type news. Hopping into Bunny Day fun. The Animal Crossing New Horizon game update on April 1st, 2020 lets players celebrate Bunny Day with a special event in April. All right, so on the official Animal Crossing site, they had in Animal Crossing New Horizons, the time and day and season match real life. So you can celebrate seasonal events through the year by installing a free game update, which is available now. You can celebrate Bunny Day with a special event in April from April 1st through April 12th. You'll be able to find Zipper T Bunny on your island and go on an exciting egg hunt. You may find eggs hidden in trees, fished up from the water, dug up from the ground, and more. These eggs can be used for materials to craft do-it-yourself limited time items. If you manage to craft all the do-it-yourself egg items by April 12th, you can get an in-game reward from Zippy T Bunny, which is a little bunny that runs around your island that kind of tells you about what's going on and everything. I've messed around with this. The thing that I find most infuriating, it's not the eggs because they're everywhere. It's the cherry blossoms. They got this cherry blossom that floats around, and if you don't pay attention and you don't know you're supposed to use your net to catch it, you'll never know. Until I did talk to somebody today that mentioned it, but I was catching them before. But they're so rare, and you need them to make some of these items that you're just like.
I just don't get this game at all. But again, it's not for everybody.
No, it's not, and I don't know. It's my bathroom game. It's like, okay, I go in there, log in, do my daily thing, and then I come out and put it away and don't worry about it till the next day. That's what it's become. It's like, okay, I don't even know why I'm continuing this. I should go play something Disgaea or something, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I get it.
But yeah, go get your Bunny Day stuff if you're playing Animal Crossing New Horizon. All right, so on to games releasing this week. We only really have 2.
Yep.
But one's a good one for a lot of people. Disaster Report 4 Summer Memories comes out on PC, Switch, and PlayStation 4 April 7th. That's a game where you go around as a lady and help people while there's an earthquake or something going on and all kinds of havoc's being caused in whatever city you're in, and there's outfits and stuff. I don't know if you're a lady by choice or if that's just a video I saw. You might be able to create your own character. I don't know. Check it out if it sounds like it's up your alley. It might be interesting. And then the big one I think this week is Final Fantasy VII Remake on PS4 April 10th. The only bad thing about this is people in North America and other countries have already gotten it, and we're already told to not spoil it for other people, but they've been streaming it. So, the Square Enix said, you guys are going to get this early, so don't spoil it. And what do? They stream it anyways. It's pretty funny.
Well, yeah, of course. It's what we do, man. Doing it for everybody else.
So, you want to go into the free games that people can play while they're on lockdown?
Yeah, so of course, Epic always releases new games free every week. So right now is Gone Home, which is kind of a mystery walking simulator. And then, what is it, Hob? Which I have.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't look at what that one was
That's
about.
that when you go around as a character, and it's the puzzle game. Remember I was telling you about?
Oh yeah.
There is some combat in there. But it's a good game.
And yeah, oh, right now both of those are free until the 9th, and then from the 9th to the 16th is Sherlock Holmes: Crimes and Punishment. And that was the only one they had listed. So if I missed it, let me know. But that was the only one I saw.
And that one got good reviews, and I have it on my Xbox. I think I got it with like Game Pass or something. I never played it because I just haven't had the time.
Yeah, I get it.
I ain't got time to be solving mysteries, man.
I ain't got time for that. I don't have. I don't know. I'm gonna try to do something this week because last week I kind of slacked. I was like, I'm not feeling it. Hopefully, I'll feel it this week. Maybe I'll work on a lure video. I've been slowly putting that together. It's not as easy as it sounds.
Oh, believe me, I know what it entails. I make videos that are not lore videos, but that are right up that alley, and yeah, they're quite time intensive.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's all I have for this week.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else. So yeah, I'm not sure. People have been asking me if I'm going to be playing Final Fantasy VII. I haven't decided yet. If I do, I will be putting a notification inside of Discord, so go join our Discord. There's links everywhere, and depending if you're on Twitch or YouTube or whatnot, there's links for that. Go join. I'll go to our welcome and I'll add you as a member so you can see everything, all that good stuff. I go in there daily to do that. Other than that, just working on my Persona 5 Royal 100% walkthrough, and people have been asking me, is it really a 100% walkthrough? As much as I can make it so. And what I mean by that is there are no true guides out there that have 100%. I'm trying to piece it together with like 6 different resources and all that, trying to make sure that I get everything right. And there is a small possibility that at the end of the playthrough it doesn't turn out the way I want, but I'm doing everything in my power to avoid that, to make it where I max out all the confidants, I get all of my social stats up, I level everything up, I get all my personas unlocked and all those type of things. So hopefully by the end of it, it'll be the best guide that is out there for it, and I'm hoping. It's
sounds good.
They added a lot of stuff. I didn't even know that they. I mean, you would know this because you never played the first one, but there's this things called will seeds that they added in, and there's like 3 in each palace or dungeon now. I just randomly ran into it and was like, oh crap. So I finished that episode and I was like, I need to go research this so I don't miss it. And I get them all. That's when I found out there's 3 in each dungeon and all this and that. And I was like, okay. So I had to start off one of my episodes. I found 2 of them in that episode. And then I was like, okay, there's 3. So I'm going to start off the next one. And that's what I'm going to start it off as, going to get the 3rd one to get all 3 of them. And then I can go back to focus on going through the dungeon and showing the rest of the dungeon. But it's like they do stuff like that. They added crossword puzzles. They changed the questions in the classroom. They did a lot of stuff that there is a chance that I could miss something. I'm doing my best not to.
Sounds good.
All right, with all that said, that's my disclaimer. We got nothing else, so until next video, take care. Bye-bye now. Static, Buzz, and Oz, we're out.
See you guys later.
Peace. I don't know why I said that. That's just weird.
I don't know either.
All right, the music. Come on, music, start. Start music. It's not starting. It's all right.
It's all right.
I wanted to give it like 20 seconds at the end because I like ending with the music, but if it's not starting, I can't. Maybe. There we go. Music. Can you feel the music?
I never hear it on my end, so.
Yeah, I only hear it because I have the desktop audio set up on the OBS. You have heard it though, right?
Yep.
I mean, every time we start the show, so yeah. All right.